Lesson-1 English online class. Yesterday we discussed the topic that is if that we completed. With that topic, first unit is also over. Today we are going to discuss another topic that is titled as "And Then Gandhi Came" by Jawaharlal Nehru. This is from the second unit, words and deeds. In India, after the First World War, what happened? What is the condition was India? And unemployment, poverty, this type of crucial condition that we just to go through it. But after that First World War, can see in India there is the British ruler there are take part at the same time. Gandhi came and there is a change that occurred in India. What is that? That is he described, that is Nehru described through this topic that is and then Gandhi came. You can see here, this says that here Jawaharlal Nehru writes about the timely arrival of Gandhi to Indian politics. And the country was in dire need to such a leadership. Gandhi was like a beam of light that removed the darkness. Jawaharlal Nehru makes a right assessment of Gandhi in his Discovery of India. Read the excerpt. So here, the arrival of Gandhi to India or to Indian politics, there is some changes occurred after the First World War. That the same time he acted as a beam of light and he just removed the darkness among the minds of the Indian people. They just feared what to do. They don't know, so they feared. He just removed the darkness, the symbol of darkness of the fear. And here Jawaharlal Nehru, he just to makes a right assessment of Gandhi in his Discovery of India. Okay, that Discovery of India, that is a work of Nehru. He mentioned after the World War first, he just came to India and what was the condition here. He just described that. Let us begin that topic. Come on, first passage. World War first entered at last, and the peace, instead of bringing us relief and progress, brought us repressive legislation and martial law in the Punjab, a bitter sense of humiliation and a passionate anger filled our people. We had become a derelict nation, yet what could we do? How to change this vicious process? We seemed to be helpless in the grip of some all-powerful monster. Our limbs were paralyzed, our minds deadened, large numbers of people cut off from the land and incapable of any kind of manual or technical work, joined the swelling army of the unemployed and helpless, hopeless, sank ever deeper into the morass. They did not know where to look, for neither the old nor the new offered them any hope. Okay, that is the first passage. See here, World War first finally entered, but the peace, instead of bringing us relief and progress, brought us repressive legislation and martial law in the Punjab. People felt humiliated and were angry, yet what could we do to change this vicious process? We seemed to be in the grip of some powerful monster. Our minds and our limbs were paralyzed. There were many people without any employment and there was extreme poverty. They did not know where to look for help. Neither the old leaders nor the new ones gave them any hope. So what to do then? No. Actually, the political leaders, they didn't give any offer or any hope to the people in India at that time. What to do? They think so. So this was the condition. Okay, repressive means restrictive. Okay, oppressive. Martial law means what? Martial law means here, yes, military law. Okay, then passionate, another word, that is another unfamiliar word, that is passionate. That means strong. Okay, strong. Another one, derelict, another word, that is new word, derelict. Derelict means neglected or abandoned. Okay, abandoned. So here, morass, another word, morass means muddy ground. Okay, muddy ground. So this is the first passage. After the First World War finally ended, but the pace, instead of that, they're bringing us relief and progress. Instead of bringing the relief and progress, okay, there is a oppressive legislation and a martial law in the Punjab that started. Okay, and at the same time, in that times, politicians, they couldn't give any offer or any hope to the people. That is the first passage. See, second passage, that is, what could we do? How could we pull India out of this quagmire of poverty and defeatism? So here, new word, that is quagmire. Quagmire means swamp. Okay, swamp, disappointment. That is the meaning of that word. And defeatism means pessimism. Okay, pessimism. So here, quagmire of poverty and defeatism. Not for a few years of excitement and agony and suspense, but for long generations, our people had offered their blood and toil, tears and sweat. And this process had eaten its way deep into the body and soul of India, poisoning very aspect of our life. This is the second passage. See, what is that? Here the big question raised by the writer, that is what could we do? Okay, the big question was how to pull India out of this bad situation, out of this bad condition. How to solve this bad condition? He asked the question. For many years, our people have been offering their blood and toil, tears and sweat. Now, the body and soul of India were in bad shape. Every aspect of our life was poisoned. Okay, so there is no way to overcome from the martial law and the repressive legislation and martial law in Punjab. They don't know what to do. Here asking the writer the big question, what to do. Okay, and here the thing is that there is every aspect of their life was poisoned. They don't know what to do. That is, their condition is very pathetic one, very bad one. So in this condition, what to do? Okay, everything is under the martial law in the Punjab. So what to do? He asked the question. That is the first, that is the second one. Then next one, and then Gandhi came. He was like a powerful current of fresh air that made us stretch ourselves and take deep breaths, like a beam of light that pierced the darkness and removed the scales from our eyes. Like a whirlwind that upset many things, but most of all the working of people's minds. He did not millions of India speaking their language. So here some, unfamiliar words like that which were there. That is whirlwind. Whirlwind means a very destructive wind. Okay, and another one can say pierced, another unfamiliar word, that is pierced. You know that, somebody there know. Cut through. Here this passage says that. What this passage says, come on. At this time, the people is under the rule of legislation and martial law in Punjab. Okay, they just, they have no job, they have no employment, they all are angry without hope, they all are helpless. With this condition, they are asking that is what to do, how to remove this things from our life, from our states, from our nation. They think so. And after that, in this situation, and then Gandhi came. He was like a powerful current of fresh air. So he acted as a powerful current of fresh air. And he was like a beam of light that pierced the darkness. So when he came to India, they felt that like a beam of light. That light is that pierced the darkness. The ignorance of hopeless, ignorance of agony, ignorance, that is their unemployment, poverty. These all things, darkness, he just removed when after he came to India. At the same time, he was like a whirlwind that upset many things, especially the minds of the working class people. He did not come from top. So he working with the class people, especially millions of India, he spoke their language. So he just spoke their language, what they feel, what is their condition, what is their problem, and he taught millions of India. That is the third one. Next one, get off the backs of these peasants and workers. He told us, all of you who live by their exploitation. Get rid of the system that produces this poverty and misery. Political freedom took a new shape then and acquired a new content. Much that he said we only partially, but all this was secondary. The sense of his teaching was fearlessness and truth. An action allied to this, always keeping the welfare of the masses in view. The greatest gift for an individual or a nation, so we had been told in our ancient books, was abhaya, that is fearlessness. Not merely body weight, but the absence of fear from the mind. The dominant impulse in India under British rule was that of fear, pervasive, oppressing, strangling fear of the army, the police, the widespread secret service, fear of the official class, fear of laws meant to suppress and of prison, fear of the landlord's agent, fear of the moneylender, fear of unemployment and starvation, which were always on the threshold. It was against this all-pervading fear that Gandhi's quiet and determined voice was raised. Be not frightened. Was it so simple as all that? Not quite, and yet fear builds its phantoms, which are more fearsome than reality itself. And reality, when calmly analyzed and its consequences willingly accepted, loses much of its terror. Exploration, that means unfair use, that is exploitation, that means exploitation. Then another word, dominant. Dominant means most important. Then impulse, feels. Seem, feels. Then pervasive. Pervasive, another word that is, which means, what is its meaning? Widespread. Then strangling, another word that is, strangling means, what is that? Gripping the neck tightly. Threshold, step near the door, that is the threshold. Then phantoms, ghosts. Amazing, you know that, surprising. Then furtive, secretive. Then alien, that means foreign. Here, the explanation of this passage is that he asked the exploiters to get off the backs of the peasants and workers. So he asked to get off. So he want to get off. Okay, to get free, especially the peasants and workers, the farmers and the ordinary people. He asked them to remove the system that produces poverty and misery. And also he asked the soldiers, he told them that remove the system that produces poverty and misery. Political freedom, look a new meaning, new meaning. Many of the things Gandhi said were not accepted by all people. The essence of his teaching was fearlessness and the truth. So he make awareness among the people. Okay, don't be afraid. Okay, the essence of the teaching was the fearlessness and the truth. So his abhaya, that is fearlessness, without fear. Okay, that is the essence of teaching. He always kept the welfare of the masses in view. Our great ancient books tell us that fearlessness is the greatest gift for an individual or a nation. Then fearlessness does not mean just bodily courage, but absence of fear from the mind. The British ruled India through putting fear into us, fear of the army, the police, the secret service, the official laws, prison, then landlord's agent, moneylender, unemployment and starvation. Gandhi wanted to remove this fear. He told the people not to be afraid. It was too easy to free the people from fear. So suddenly, as it were, that black pall of fear was lifted from the people's shoulders, not wholly, of course, but to an amazing degree, as fear is close companion to falsehood. So truth follows fearlessness. The Indian people did not become much more truthful than they were, nor did they change their essential nature overnight. Nevertheless, a sea change was visible as the need for falsehood and furtive behavior lessened. It was a psychological change, almost as if some expert in psychoanalytical methods and probed deep into the patient's past found out the origins of his complexes, exposed them to his view, and thus rid him of burden. After that, however, Gandhi was able to remove the fear from the mind of the people to great extent. So he tried to remove the fear from the mind of the people. That is a great extent. Fear is close companion to falsehood. So he said that fear of, yes, the police, then fear of the army, then fear of laws, then fear of the landlords, fear of the moneylender, fear of the unemployment, starvation, this all, that is what close companion to the falsehood. So he says that, but the truth follows fearlessness. So you have to follow the truth. Truth follows fearlessness. If you say each and everything that isn't truth, that you cannot fear. It is not that at all. Indians became truthful overnight, but there was visible change in their behavior. It was a psychological change, and people did not need to support or falsehood anymore. If you want to just change, you have to say only truth, and surely there's visible change in your behavior. You can see that. And psychology change, and people did not need support of falsehood anymore, so they never did any falsehood in their life. That is the thing. Okay, next one. There was psychological reaction also, feeling of shame over that our long submission to an alien rule that had degraded and humiliated us, and a desire to submit no longer, whatever the consequences might be. We did not grow much more truthful, perhaps, than we had been previously, but Gandhi was always there, was a symbol of uncompromising truth to pull us up and shame us into truth. Okay, so here you can see there was also a psychological reaction among the people. So they reacted in a psychological manner. They were ashamed, they were ruled by foreigners who degraded and humiliated them. They had a desire to free themselves from this shameful situation, whatever might be consequences. Gandhiji was always there as a symbol of uncompromising truth. Okay, this is the passage. So, this is the condition after the First World War. You can see there is martial law is followed. At the same time, the people is very feared because of the police, because of the landlords and all. At this time, at this condition, then Gandhi came and he acted as a light, remove the darkness among the people in their mind. He want to get back their fear from their mind. So he make a psychological movement among the people and he told them each and everything. This whole thing he followed. Okay. At the same time, he says that we have to follow truth and fearlessness, that is abhaya and all. He give them to follow these things. That is the main values, moral values that is followed in his life. Okay. Anyway, I hope that you get an idea about this topic, that is, and then Gandhi came. Okay, the coming day we can discuss its remaining portion. We can meet again in the next video class. Okay, bye.